All right, we're going to rough out a hollow form blank square piece of wood, and you can see that the bark is still on here. This is just a tree that I've cut a chunk out of in a square. All right, we're going to get the tool rest up real close here. The wood is going to be spinning around like this, right? And if I'm using a roughing out gouge, that's one of these monsters. Even when I'm doing little spindles like finials and things like that, I would still use the same method I'm using, and I would not use one of these tools. Why? Every rotation, the wood is going to come around and hit that sharp edge, and I have to absorb all that energy. All that energy is going down into my body, and I have to push on the other end to compensate for the force of the wood coming at me. Okay? So this is harder to use than I do with my bowl gouge. And the second reason I don't use the spindle roughing out gouge is because the normal position would be to go back and forth. And if I go back and forth on the tool rest like this, what direction am I going into the grain? Okay? I'm actually cutting into those in-grain fibers. And so I want to plunge into the side of the tree. If I cut into the side of the tree, it's always going to be easier than cutting into the end of the tree. This is something I never use. Because it's easier, I'm going to use my bowl gouge. Bowl gouge has a sharp edge facing the direction I'm going to travel, and I'm going to go right straight into the side of the tree, so the sharp edge is facing the side of the tree. Now if we can visualize the forces, those cutting forces, every time those corners come down, what are happening to the forces? The forces are going right down into the tool rest, and the lathe and the tool is doing all the work, and I can just stand here with a smile on my face. So I don't have to work as hard. So there's no effort at all. Very, very easy to go into the side of the tree. This piece of wood is very dry and been sitting around my shop for years. You see I'm going into the side of the tree. There's no force. I'm not pushing on the handle. There's either a cut or no cut by pushing my thumb away from it. So the handle has to be stable. I tuck the handle into my waist. The handle doesn't move. And I just push my thumb away from me.